So welcome everybody back to Motorsport Manager. We have jumped ahead a couple of races. We're at Silverstone now, event 11 in the calendar. So you can see here we've gone through a fair few races. We'll take you through some of the stuff there. So Monaco, you were with us there where Charles Leclerc got a very good second position. He got third in Baku. He got third in Montreal. And the Paul Ricard circuit, we won. We won in France. Charles Leclerc winning the French Grand Prix. The Red Bull Ring had Mercedes' name all over it. They came 1-2. Charles Leclerc came third. We are now at Silverstone. We've had a nice break, a good 2-week break, which has led to a little bit of car development. So I'll take you through it. We're building some new rear wings. We have completed our front wing development. I've not built the third front wing only because there's nothing else I can get from it. But yeah, so essentially we've got engines. We need to build one more engine. We do need to build another front wing to get to that next stage. We'll probably build a risk item out of that. The gearbox is looking pretty good. We're going to definitely build another gearbox out of that, this time with a risk item for next season. The rear wings are actually quite shoddy. Our first couple of options for rear wings is pretty dire. We've got the suspensions left to build. I am hopeful we can get, I mean, we don't need to build two each, but at least if we can get, to good for everything, is not too bad. So we can see how it goes. You will also see on the main screen that Carlos Sainz has broke his leg. He's got 9 weeks left, which is a lot of time. We have been missing him. We have therefore had to promote our reserve driver, Callum Illett. He's been doing pretty well, actually. Some not bad places in that sense. So he's got qualifying 5th, Paul Ricard 11th, qualified 10th at the Red Bull Ring and got 9th. It's okay. He's okay. We're happy in the sense of where things are going. Would we like an absolute superstar in that driver? Yes, we would, but I'm not going to pay that amount of money to bring in a superstar driver. So, let's go for it. I think Charles is obviously we're not putting the rear wings on because they're all built at risk. With the parts, when you update the parts, what you're looking for is obviously you want a couple of parts to use for this season, but for next season, how you get your parts to be better is you develop parts this season. Now, it's not the max. The max parts is your, how much you can improve by. You don't want to focus on the plus max. You want to just go on the actual plus. So, for example, it's plus high-speed corners. Don't do plus to max high-speed corners. That's not what you want to do. Let's leave. Both drivers have got totally weird acceleration points. I think that could be okay. Leave it as it is. Let's see what happens. Simulate practice. We can muck about with it before quali. But so it is looking a bit better for next season. I was a bit worried that we wouldn't develop as many parts as possible, but I think we will. I think the last one that you usually get is just a full-on 3-4 risk points. You can't use those this season, otherwise you'll be docked points if they do catch you out, if the FIA catch you out. However, your risk points do not carry on to next season. For some odd reason, over the winter season, your designers and engineers obviously find a way to get the risk out. Not that great. They're 11th. You can tell we are missing Carlos Sainz a little bit. And so it's going to be tough. And we got absolutely no super softs. It's going to be very difficult. Let's see. We're in the 40%. Why would we do that for? That doesn't work at all. That's good. That's better. Maybe he wants a bit more understeer. And a bit more gear long ratios. That a bit less that way. Yeah. Okay, yep. That's Mr. Leclerc. And Mr. Callum. Oof. Obviously wants a lot more understeer than that. Speed balance. I think we're going to go just a bit there as well, and let's see what happens. I mean, the downforce, clearly, that's just too high. See where that takes us, shall we? So the team have been working extremely hard in getting our design parts and pieces flowing. That's kind of what we want. We see a slight improvement there from 11th in practice to 8th, which is always good. Leclerc sticking in that 4th place. Verstappen, Hamilton and Bottas are obviously going to hit those places there. Russell, Raikkonen, Mazepin, Giovinazzi, Latifi all out. So we're not looking at many designers for next year. We're not looking at massive change in the team. Adrian Newey will cost us an absolute fortune, but I'm quite hopeful if we stick to 3rd in the championship. I think 2nd is a bit too much of a push, just because Red Bull are pushing for wins. It's got to be careful. No, I think we're comfortable in the 8th. At least get us to 8th. That's good. We lose Lando, Pierre, Lance, Tsonda and Mick Schumacher. Would we want to bring Schumacher into Ferrari at this stage? Probably not. I obviously wouldn't want him to go to someone like Mercedes or Red Bull. I think they'll stick with Verstappen, and I think they'll stick with Perez. Bottas is the only issue that we've got, because he's got this is last year of his contract, whereas Hamilton I think has got another one. So they will be out in the market for another driver. Let's see what happens. It's a bit damp, a bit wet. We'll stick the Inters, so it's going to be a very damp race. I think Inters all the way to the end, or maybe lap 16 will hit dries, which is pretty annoying. So okay, let's that worked a little bit better. I'm okay with that. Overtake on the engine mode. Let's see what happens here. Right. Here we go, guys. Here's the Silverstone Grand Prix. Leclerc has managed to split up the Mercedes and also the Red Bulls. And he's lost a place at the start. Right, that's not obviously great. Obviously the overtake didn't work without the push. Charles doesn't have very good starts. I have noticed that. So we're just going to pull back now to high. We need to make these tyres last just before these carry on. So 21 to 23. These last about 15 to 17 laps. Ooh, we're going to have to make these last. So Illet stays in 9th. Did he qualify 9th or did he qualify 8th? I can't remember. But he's losing a place anyhow. No, he's not. He's gaining one. Oh, he's going to take Perez around the outside. No, he's not. Yes, he is. No, he's not. Never mind. He's got Gasly and Tsonda behind him. The McLarens are getting in all sorts of trouble here. That's Ricciardo getting out of shape and losing it. But Perez is up to 6 now, so he's made some, quite a few places up in a very short space of time. And that is basically going to change his race around by being ahead of those 2 McLarens. He's done his job. You've got a yellow flag in Sector 1. Max Verstappen has crashed out, which means Charles Leclerc gets pulled into P2. Illet needs to push, but he's not. Come on, you're on the inside now. And again. And again. And now he's not. But he is. But he's not. Well. Callum's been doing actually an alright job. It's not exactly. Oh no, there he is. He's got 7th now. Brilliant. Okay. Just like he said, he's not. And he's gone and passed Daniel Ricciardo round the outside of probably one of the fastest corners of the track. Fair enough. Okay, Callum. Okay. Hamilton is in 3rd place. He's 2.5 seconds behind Leclerc. We can hold our own against the 2 Mercedes. Leclerc won at the Paul Ricard circuit. We can chase them down and we can make things work. But realistically, I'm not looking to push these tyres at any great length. I'm not looking to do anything drastic or stupid right now. We've got about 15, I would say lap 14, lap 13, 14, we start to come in. And that's probably what we'll do. I'm just going to push a little bit because the tyre temperatures are very, very low. Yeah, I've just done that. So hopefully that'll give it a little bit more of a speed boost and a bit more of a nudge to get on with it. Yeah, poor Carlos crashed and broke his leg, which isn't great. Come on, Callum. He's in 6th position. That's fantastic. Leclerc is pulling away from Hamilton ever so slowly, but also Bottas is pulling away from him. We're trying to get these tyre temps up. They're far too cold at the moment. So we just need to try and give these a little bit of a push to make sure that they are going to stay at that sweet spot temperature. But Bottas, Leclerc is actually, no, he's a bit further behind. Hamilton's eased off. Alonso in 4th in the Alpine Racing team there, so that's pretty good. Now we've got to eke another 6 laps out of this tyre set. So let's go back onto neutral again and see how we're going to do things. So 5th place is Perez, 4th is Alonso. Perez should pass Alonso, but we need to capitalise. We've got to be there when Perez makes his move. There's 15 laps remaining. We have another, I would say, 5 laps. Now, the rain's going to come down again, so yeah, it's starting to come down again. I was going to say, normally it gets a bit, the AI get a bit funny when you get a dry spell for 2 laps, and then, but I guess this mod, no, they've stuck to their guns. But Bottas on a 1:23.5, which is a pretty good lap. And Leclerc has not closed. We're actually losing time on Bottas at the moment, so again I think we're going to have to push these tyres, just because, well, they're just so low on the tyre temps. There's 13 laps remaining. We got another, I would suggest, let's see, this doesn't actually work because it's lap 9 out of 21 and this radar is, well, quite far away from lap 10. So either this is a bug or, yeah, okay, well, yeah, alright, I don't know, just got to play it by ear. I'm quite comfortable where we are at the moment there with Ilott chasing Perez. Leclerc is keeping his distance from Hamilton. He's closed down Bottas massively. He took a second out in the last lap. So we're obviously doing something right here. I will look to save down the engine just a little bit so we can push on those super soft tyres right at the end for about 6 laps. We're going to go absolutely hell for leather when we come in, or when this rain starts to die down anyway. So I'm going to have a little zoom. Keep pushing, keep pushing, keep pushing. So I can smell blood here. Not literally, I can smell blood in terms of with Bottas, but we're losing a lot of tyres at the moment. So got 9 laps remaining. We're on lap 13. When are we going to start going to dry tyres? I do want to back these tyres up now. Oh, we've got our first stop. We've got Mercedes double stopping. Mercedes are double stopping. So let's see there. Lap 14. That did actually work out to be about lap 14, so that's quite right. Maybe I'm just reading this diagram wrong. 10, 12, 14. That's wrong then. Okay, so Mercedes are looking at double stacking. So Hamilton will lose a lot of time. Is it too early to double stack? And Valtteri's going on the soft and Hamilton's going on the super soft. So I do think the super soft is the way to go. Maybe Valtteri doesn't have a new set of those. He needs to like go full out. And then so does this chap here as well. Mr. Ilott needs to go full out because we are not going to double stack you. Let's go. Oh, hello. Now, didn't that work out well? That worked out amazingly well because now he's come out ahead of Vettel, who's also on the Inters. But he should absolutely rock that. I did not see that coming. Yeah, I don't know actually if I meant that. But Bottas is cleared. Push that one. Let's stick him on that. Let's push that one there because we can afford to push these now. Leclerc, I mean, these tyres are a little bit quicker than the softs. So we should see a little bit of performance. Ilott goes back into 6th again, so I'm quite happy with that. I don't believe he's going to catch Perez or Alonso unless Alonso really holds up Sergio Perez. Then we might be in for a 4th or a 5th. My concern here is that Hamilton is going Hamilton's going hammer time, so we're going to have to do the same. Charles is going to have to drive the absolute drive of his race here, and Hamilton's gone back to just slow, steady pushing again. We're going to catch Bottas. Oh no. Go back onto push. Sorry, I've mucked it around there. Hamilton's going conserve because he's used a crap ton of his tyres. He's still got 5 laps of the Grand Prix left. Our tyre temps are very, very hot, so we're going to start losing this quite quickly. There's just no chance of... Got no chance of Ilott catching Perez. The problem is I've got Norris behind me. He's 7 seconds behind. I don't think he's actually going to do anything. So let's leave Callum where he is. And let's continue to focus on Charles. Now Hamilton has definitely backed off. There's 2 laps left. Oh, go for it. Absolutely run for the hills. I don't think Callum's gonna catch Alonso or Perez. Yeah, no, you just keep going. Don't you worry, because Hamilton is going to be on a charge right now. We can do this. If Bottas makes one little tiny mistake, we can do this. Come on. Callum... I'm almost going to give up on Callum at the moment. We'll stick the engine up. Why not? Give him a little boost. Come on, Charles. I don't think we can catch Bottas. I really don't think we can. This is more or less the same time we were at right at the start of the race. Or sort of in the first half of the stint of the Inters. We're probably closer than we've ever actually been. That's just us, to be fair. I don't know why they're conserving the tyres now for, but I mean, it makes us look a little bit closer than we were at, but well done. We managed to pip Hamilton. I think that was Mercedes' fault for double stacking. I don't think we would have double stacked if we would have waited for Callum to make his pit stop. I think that was a bit of luck. We got quite lucky in that. But hey, fair play to Bottas. He's won a Grand Prix for all of his misgivings at the start of the first half of the season when he was crashing out every now and again. He's won a Grand Prix for Mercedes, so fair play to him. But yeah, I think Callum did a pretty good job, pretty solid job. Maybe would have stayed out maybe a bit longer, would have left it too late. I guess he came in at the right time to not have any traffic. So yeah, there you go. Hamilton got the fastest lap. Charles Leclerc with another podium, which is exactly what we want. And look at that. The driver standings. Podium, podium, podium. What did Alonso say? Podium, podium, podium. That's the key. And Charles has delivered podium after podium. And he is now ahead of Max Verstappen in the driver standings. Lewis is running away with it. To be fair, we're lacking a challenger. Although I mean, he's about 70, 80 points behind. So if Hamilton has 3-4 bad races, which is never going to happen. So yeah, congratulations, Lewis Hamilton. Woo, good win. 40 points behind Red Bull now. So I can see it catching. We just need a second driver. Yeah, we need Carlos Sainz. I thought I'd never say it really, but the man who used to get 5th and 6th and whatever it was, we kind of need him to come back. Yeah. Why did we get 2 million? Don't know. Don't know why we got 2 million. I need another one on tyres, so I don't really... Oh, that's actually quite nice. 98, 98, yeah, 70, 70. No, reject that one. Okay. Blames rival for crash. Oh, great. Yep, sure, I'll accept an interview with YouTube. Charles Leclerc's the better driver. Of course he is. We're not going to beat around the bush now. Problem is, see, we get our rear wing when we go to the Hungaroring. Now there's a couple of these drivers here that are definitely itching to get to Formula 1, and they've all got 5 stars, and I'm sitting there thinking to myself, do I just do it? Right, we have a vote. Great believer, the opportunity of motorsport, that's great. To propose a rule change. Okay, yeah, we can do. Let's have a look. Short practice sessions. No. Medium length. No. Pit lane speed limit. Okay. High merit payments. Double points for the final race. Remove bonus points for fastest lap. Bonus points for the driver in pole position. Grooved tyres. Let's have a look. Full course caution only. No. Ooh. Spec engines. There is no qualifying session. That is ridiculous. Okay, well, I mean, this is not bad, right? You know, give additional £7.5 million bonus. That's not too bad. I'm trying to be nice. I don't want to change the tyres too much. I think things are okay. Nor do I want to go back to refueling. This may aid cars reverse tyre rates. No, not really. Well, oh no, I don't actually. Oh, you know what? I'm just going to reject it. I don't need to make it. Right. Off we go to the Hungaroring. We're 5th on staff. What's our car like? Still 3rd. Drivers 5th. Jeez. We've got 6 hours left. He's still there. When are we going to get him back? 7 weeks. We get a big, well, a week and a half break. He'll come back at Monza or Sochi, one of the two. 7 weeks. 4, 3, no. No. Sochi. Right. Never mind. Okay, well, let's have a look at the pit crew then before we actually dabble off. And we will see you at the Hungaroring Grand Prix. We won't bore you with the practice, we won't bore you with the qualifying. Next episode will be all about that all-important Hungaroring, and we'll also go through developments of the car.